Hello and welcome to Auracard in the Wild Rift. Got Ari pre-picked for mid lane. Now, the purpose of this video, I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. Usually I like to introduce what the video is about, but I just want to get another video in and just keep gaming. So, got my traditional ban of Aurelion Sol. I do not want to play that dragon. Like, I want to play him, sorta, and get good at him, but because like his ability to just zone and position people by moving around is really intense, and it's what I like about him. But I also don't like playing against that at all. And he was really popular when I first started playing. I played like 3 or 4 games against Aurelion Sol before I started banning him, and I was like, this is too much of him. And with the movement and everything and being able to dodge in, I don't like having him there. So that is, who you will always see me ban. It'll be like a weird, like I don't ban Aurelion Sol if I ever don't ban Aurelion Sol, especially as Ari, but like as anybody. I just don't want him on the field. Part of the reason I like rank so much is because it has the banning phase in this, so it's like there's no draft, it's just straight up to rank. So if you want the actual picking that way, you kind of got to go with it. So it solidifies I don't have to play against Aurelion Sol. It's pretty good for me. So everybody's pretty much picked here. And subwoofer. Right on. Reminds me of electricity and stuff. Anyhow. So I got my Academy Ari skin as usual when I play Ari. And that might eventually change if I get the other skins, but I like the Academy Ari skin. It's like more I don't know how you'd say, like real day, like modern day kind of stuff. It's like makes sense as somebody who comes out nowadays kind of thing, and the real normal day. Like it's like casual kind of dress, but it's still flashy, and I really like it. The picture up here, I do like it, but I kind of like her hair over her shoulders more normally. Like it is nice seeing like a little bit of neck kind of area, like a completely exposed neck, I guess. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know. Looking at it from like, it's a bit, I'm kind of staring at it like really hardcore here, and it's kind of fading out a bit. I wasn't looking at it so exact. Her features kind of were very sharp, so it made her look kind of aggressive. But when my eyes kind of hazed out a little bit and I didn't see so detailed, she really looked calm and peaceful and kind of inviting, so that was pretty cool. I never really gazed at it that way. Well, early battle. Subwoofer's getting some action. Right on. I like playing early fights with low abilities and stuff like that. They're so much fun. It'd be fun to do a custom of like where you just war somewhere, like just somehow you could stay at level 1. Or maybe 3 or 4 even, like, play both of those kind of things. Be cool if you added something like that in there. So, I've been seeing a lot of Ziggs lately. I've only played, I don't know, this might be my 23 to 30th game in ranked. I can't really remember how many it's been today. I remember at one point, earlier at some point, it was like 19 when I posted my, I just got into gold to my friends on Facebook. I don't have that kind of stuff like Snapchat, anything like that, so at least at the moment, maybe in the future, video was released in time it says in YouTube, I guess. But I can remember about that. So he's not detonating while I'm in there, so that's nice of him, I guess. A little bit of camaraderie. I'll just take it as that rather than him kind of being foolish with his abilities. My orb is glowing green. Going for some bears. I love honey fruit. I remember it's called honey fruit, or it's called like jelly berries, berries, doobie berries, jubloos. Called them a lot of things for a while when I was playing it in my head, but not out loud. Like I don't just go like, "Wow, a jubilee berry." I've said like weird things like that, I guess, like in a video, but I think I'm dead. Sometimes I forget about things like Ignite and stuff like that with Ari, because she's so mobile. It's like it's pretty easy to forget. He can't get away from certain things. I don't know, for me. Like, it is so funny that some of the stuff you can get out of as Ari with the 3 extra flashes. I find it a lot of fun. And yeah, that is like, you know, not exactly putting in my all. Like, I need an outside task right now. But, here we go. So I do have a mission for earning gold again. It's, in the Morgana Kale one. I already got the champion selection, I already had Morgana, so I bought Kale. But I have it on the Morgana flip, so I have all her quests with me. So I've got that emote. I think I'm gonna flash it now. Just get one into the game. Good one to kind of stir some shit up, as it were. Now I'm taking down the enemy. Hopefully. Attack this racket. Wicked. Oh. Trading not too bad now. More honey fruits. Addicted to the honey fruits. Like, I do the weirdest tasks. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna secure my enemy doesn't have honey fruits, and I'll eat them. There's a thing in WoW where if you play World of Warcraft and you eat a certain kind of mana producing thing, it's like a little vapor, and your guy just like inhales a gem, and it's like as a vapor. And if you have too many of them, you eventually become addicted, and if you have them on you, your character will eventually use them. And like if you don't have them, like will suffer impairments. And me and my friend Waldo, I got so many of them. Like there's something you fish, I think it was. It was like I don't remember, or you had to make it with something you fished, but I remember there was a lot of fishing, and or near somewhere you fished, and like I got so many of them, like both our characters were addicted to them, and in mid-battle, like would just huff one when like they were stood still for a second. It was the funniest stuff ever, and it was around the time that my character went into like, me and Jesse went into like this big pit somewhere in World of Warcraft with this big tower in the middle of it. And I got cursed with this weird thing that like, or some quest buff that has like this glowing orb of gold and red. And in my server, I was famous for wandering around as that for like a week. Kind of like I was that guy with like this weird glow because it was like bright. It was like a casting thing and it was gold. And like Jesse said, he was like so disappointed when WoW corrected it 'cause he was like, you know, it was so easy to find you when we were playing, and I was the healer, so we always knew where the healer was. I was playing a holy priest at the time. When we got addicted to the mana gems, though, we were, I think I was a mage. It might have been that, and he was a druid. I don't know if I'll ever play World of Warcraft again. I don't know where I'm going in it. I have a level 70 or 80, or I think that's actually 100. Remember 70 was way back in the day, but my friend Jesse passed away, and it's like, playing without him, I don't know. I'll never be able to find my way around, it'll just not be the same. Like, we used to play for a month in a row and stuff like that, at like an actual thing. I think one of the reasons before he passed, the reason he failed, I'm kind of like ashamed to admit it, but the reason he failed electrician school was kind of because he was gaming out with me too much. Because he like actually bought me my World of Warcraft copy for the time to be able to play with him and stuff like that. Because I didn't have my subscription from a long time ago when I had my original account. And me and Jesse played for like so long. We actually leveled 2 characters completely with each other from one each to 100, and then the other one from like 10 to 60 or something like that, or like I don't know. We had to start in other areas, whatever it was, but. Oh no, we actually had something where he was able to start next to me and he got extra experience for me leveling up. So I used to wander away here and there as the priest and like play really hard, and then he'd come back in, level with me, and like have like 4 levels skipped ahead and stuff like that. It was sick. Like he had so much fun. And he was with a really good woman that, gave him like the coolest passing that he could have ever had. He was so happy. He got to be like a family man with like her kid and stuff like that. It's too bad. He was so good. Like, oh, I don't know if he ever got into like some kind of thing, like a heavy guild opportunity, where he actually like prowled around and just showed noobs all the way around the maps and stuff like that, because he knew the game so well. Anywhere we went, I knew where to go. I didn't know how to play anything. It wasn't until we started going to that new island that opened up with thing I can remember about it is you can get something like the Eye of Kilrog from a boss in the area. It's like this weird land that just appeared or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but oh, that was fun. Getting that Eye of Kilrog was pretty interesting too. It was like the first time I fought that guy. Jesse came with me to finish it off, and I got the Eye of Kilrog bonus. So whenever I start off, it's a trinket actually, or not a trinket. Maybe the trinket, something that you get that stays with you into the other accounts and all that kind of stuff. I can't remember what it is, but whenever I want, even at level 0 or whatever, I can summon an Eye of Kilrog to be able to use, and it's only a shaman spell. It's a pretty cool thing to get in World of Warcraft. But when we got that, it was like, hey, it was like, Jesse, like, come on, we'll hang out here and we'll get you your your Eye of Kilrog thing. Like, come on, man. Like, I was so excited about it because we had no idea it was a drop. But I picked it up and it was like, it's just the first time we played him. Just took him down. It was hilarious. Jesse was so much fun to play with. And like, there's this place where you can cut off like a huge section in World of Warcraft. And like, just go all the way in a dungeon, and it's like you fight like I don't know, like an octopus at the bottom, but it's this really long pit, and it's like this kind of like famous spot where you just gotta jump off, and occasionally your character dies and stuff like that, but it's way quicker. And like I'd always lose that spot, and like Jesse correcting me on that like 18 times, I swear, on like just fall here, Tyler. You know what I mean? Most fun ever. Having the chance to game here and there and just sit back in life is pretty cool. And I kind of have the liberty where it's kind of suggested that it's kind of the thing I do right now with how everything is in my life. So, kind of happy about it. Give me a chance to like express myself because I do like talking while I game and stuff like that. It feels like I'm socializing a little bit, sort of. It's like have someone to hang out with. Got kind of distracted there. Got hit pretty hard. But I don't know. Maybe one of these days. Not for a long time. Maybe when if WoW comes to mobile, I'm definitely playing it. But maybe one day I'll play League of Legends again and level up the champ me and Jesse played together. But only if I can find someone I know that actually wants to play for like a month solid and get our characters to the new max or whatever it is. I don't know if I could play League, or I mean WoW just by myself again, with having leveled 2 characters to 100, or actually 1 character to 70 a long time ago when it took longer to level up, and then 1 to 100, and 1 to like 40, I guess it was 43, not 60. Fun times. I have a bunch of other mini characters in my account too, but I don't think I'll be playing it for a long time if it ever happens. I just wouldn't know where I'm going. It's like I just got to follow my tank wherever the hell I went. It was like the greatest thing as the holy priest. I just got to follow my paladin everywhere and just tell me what to do. Okay, for this boss, blah 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 blah. Rush in. It's like, don't people usually watch the videos for this? It's like we never watched videos for it. We just get to the boss and like with having a holy priest and a paladin, like a tank and a healer, we got we got into dungeons so easy, and we like flew through that game and leveling our characters to 100. I still have a free level a character to 100 that I haven't used. I'm so glad I keep track of my email address nowadays so I don't lose my characters and stuff like that. It was fun playing World of Warcraft the classic way. I guess you can play it that way again. But I don't know if I'd want to sit around and have to eat a mana biscuit every battle and stuff like that. Big difference playing it nowadays. Can't cheap out with Holy Nova like I used to. That was so much fun playing a Holy Nova priest. Jesse didn't do the same thing with my first character that he did with the other characters nowadays, with like in the last few years. Yeah. Oh, hold on. He was just so much fun to game with. And he'd literally like a month with me to game. And, oh, I'm getting hit by the dragon. A month with me. And then when we lived together, we only for the first while I was going to college for game design, we played League of Legends all the time. And like before he met Charmaine and kind of settled down, he was like kind of like Charlie Harper from 2.5 Men, but like he didn't need enormous amounts of wealth. He just had style and Tinder, and like went to town. Like he was a really good guy and like had a lot of happy lasses, but he had like there's like he had some like women come over where they just kind of like ambled into bed a little too easy. So I kind of realized he had like a kind of like a harem. Oh, and it was like I don't know, every few nights like there was a chick there, and then like every 2 weeks it was a different chick, and like he had so much fun with them. Like he had this thing where he'd like have sex and he'd literally get exhausted and pass out on top of a chick, and I've literally heard stories from them where they're like, you passed out on top of me, and it's like, I had to sit there all night and stuff like that. It's so funny. But they were so happy, you know what I mean? It was great. He lived the coolest life before he went out as like a guy that just liked to play League of Legends and happened to be an electrician. Like I'm pretty sure he liked the money and like electrician work compared to other kinds of construction and stuff like that. And, like, why are we obsessed with the dragon? We have been fighting over this, like, how long have I been talking about? I can't even realize what I'm playing. Like, I'm not even, like, I'm literally not focused on this at all. I'm just talking about my friend Jesse. Jesse, okay, knew everything, had every character in League of Legends. Okay, had multiple skins for pretty much every character. Not like all the new ones, well, maybe before he passed he did. But he wasn't able to game completely. He could only play Civ back then. He was quite near his finish. But, oh, just his way of knowing maps in a video game. Because that's a hard thing to do, is know maps in a video game. They're just not the same as being able to wander around a city and stuff like that and know maps and like his way around. He's such a well-versed knowledge, having played since World of Warcraft pretty much came out. Like, as little kids, we strove to play that game. Like the game World of Warcraft was before it ever came out. I think like anybody that played D&D or had a heavy fantasy base in RPGs obviously wanted a game like World of Warcraft to exist. But before it did, there was, whoa, our base is getting attacked. Okay, back to reality. Maybe I should stay at base for a while. I don't know, I was just going on autoplay there. I didn't even realize what I was playing or doing. I was just talking. Like, I had no idea what this match has been or what it became, but, you know. It was like, as if in that movie, before Charlie Harper had died, he had hooked up with a chick that, had a kid or something like that. He had, like, a chance to be a full parent before getting tossed in front of that train by Rose. You know, officially leaving him with a wife or whatever it was. I haven't seen that episode yet, but you know what I mean? It was pretty cool. He's a great guy. He got really heavy into Lego. Like, he did so much Lego. I forget the kid's name now. But he did so much Lego with her. It was like the coolest thing. Like, he would build literal like dragons out of Lego. Like his own dragons. And then she had like her dragons. And like he was really obsessed with construction toys. And in my head, to me, Jesse doing all this was to prepare for the afterlife. So he had this kind of machinery and he could automatically create it and put it into the environment and pretty much play life as a video game. From being kids with him and like talking to him through a lot of stuff, that's kind of like his like scope of how that kind of stuff went, or at least being able to control it with what is the possibility of actually being in that kind of stuff, right? I was his DM for a while too, so I did learn a lot about how he understood fantasy and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, I was on autoplay for that, but it was a lot of fun. I have no idea how many times, I don't remember dying in it, so that's how I do it, autoplay. I think it was pretty good. I think I should actually continue on and play one more game. Do I get demoted for that, or do I have to lose one past that? Oh, I have to lose one past that, okay. I think I have a 72% average so far, or something like that. In Wild Rift, I'd like to keep it. But this time I'll try to focus and talk a little bit more about the game instead of me and Jesse's crazy shenanigans. Yeah, I'll keep the video going. My phone. It's a little warm, but it's not too warm. So, keep it with me, but, like, getting addicted, like me and him, getting literally addicted to those mana crystals in World of Warcraft was so funny. Like, because your character will just start to inhale a blue gem and it glows, and you get a little bit of mana. So it was like an automatic, and like sometimes it like screwed with like the game and like messed you up a little bit. But anybody that's seen you kind of walk around and sit there and start hopping a crystal, like, funniest shit ever. I wish there was something like that. That would be so cool. To have like a gem and you could like inhale it. Like an inhaled, like, I know there's vape or something like that, but something that was like juice to it. Where you kind of had like, it filled you up if you drank it. Like a nutritive vape or something like that with vitamins and stuff like that in it that don't break down when they're vaporized. I think that'd be a good idea. You can treat yourself like a pot plant and just totally like blow in a bunch of smoke, or like get in a bunch of smoke and like aerate your lungs and like go like the epic like, I aerate, I don't eat. It'd be like the new hip thing. The new hip thing. Yeah. It'd be so much fun. Reminding me about my character. Getting addicted. Getting addicted to a video game substance. Like, now I'm addicted to honey fruit. I can't help it. Whenever I see honey fruit and there's an excuse to eat it, I get it. And it's just like, to me, it makes imaginary stuff in your mind. And it's like, when I get the honey fruit, it cheers me up. Kind of like when you're a kid and you had too much sugar. So every time my character huffed to manage him, in my like psychological reference pattern, it got me literally kinda high and giddy. Kinda like I am now. ah. Jesse had the funniest characters. Ah. He was so much fun to play with. So much fun. Oh, I like the way Ramus looks. You know, from having seen dragons and My Little Imp Emerald, that's more realistic shit than I've seen certain video games kind of have and what they kind of look like. Not that I've seen something like that completely, but I don't know. The second dragon I've seen dead on the side of the road in Ontario. Whoa, called that thing in. There was a bunch of frogs all the way along the road too that were taken down, I think, or ripped apart by some insect. It was a really big one. It was about 8 inches across and like 4 inches wide, and had like these big humps, has wings on across its back and stuff like that. It was killing frogs. Stepped on him and then had mercy and kind of like wandered off and kind of like let him go with like, I wonder if he makes it, but he killed so many frogs and then I don't know, it's almost like that thing trained it so it would go out and eat them. But I don't know, it looked like it had absorbed too much clay and just had the earth on it. That's a real story, you know what I mean? But the first few dragons, stuff like that, I never had this yet. But for Emerald, I did. For one dragon, I did have my camera, but it was really far away, and I was like, I've seen dragons. Not a big deal. Like, who cares? And I was like, whoa. I had myself one. I could have really had a dragon off them, but it was like, it's a weird kind of thing, too. It's like, man, what if it really comes out that people know that stuff is out there and really over pursue looking for it? Like, you don't want weird, like, you know, like Final Fantasy VII sort of stuff, where they're actually using the creatures in weird ways or breeding them in captivity. Like, I don't know. I know our government knows about strange shit like that because I reported that dragon carcass on my way through Ontario hitchhiking. That's one of the things. We spend a lot of time outside and in nature. And in a way, the bush kind of reacts like nature, and animals is looking to kind of nature, because I hang out in nature so much that I improve the bush for animals. Like, I'll put spiders in nicer spots and take care of them for a while, or help out birds, or clear areas for deer to be able to go through easier, and stuff like that. A bunch of stuff with animals. I think it's because they kind of see me as I react to almost like I'm a person or another animal. Those things I can kind of see them sometimes. I just am so much like the bush. It's just how it is. And I kind of react to them like where it's not a crow, but it's that crow. Something really important I've noticed about animals my whole life. But one of the biggest lessons I've seen about it, and at least that I've seen had recently, is my fish Jilla. Like, she comes up with pets and a bunch of other stuff. My other beta don't, and my other fish don't. Jilla do, and like, she was scared me idea. I was hanging out with her. She was acting real odd, hanging out at the bottom of the tank all the time, kind of working around, wondering what's going on, and then all of a sudden, things start dropping out of her stomach when she's hanging out, staring at me with these big eyes. I got really scared, but then I realized, oh my god, there is, right? I don't know, I put the male fish in there for a while. I did it like a couple weeks ago or something like that. And I think it kind of activated her hormones or something, but she let out a few eggs and they dropped onto the ground. And then she laid some more. She's been doing it all day, so basically, got her kind of like, let her like get some more out, gave her some time, like I was really excited and happy. And then I switched her, and I put the male into, no, I put her into the male's tank. And like it's just like these little tanks I got them for each of them. And then I put her, because she was kind of like pushing them back a little bit into the tank with the eggs. So one of these days I might actually have like some fighting fish. I'll be the second one in a crew of friends that I've had in the days since I grew up with Jesse as a kid. He had fighting fish, and he had them mate successfully too, and he says the males will do something kind of like seahorses and put them in bubbles. So I found that kind of interesting. So I'm going to see what happens, but I have him in there with the eggs tonight. And I'm thinking about keeping him here in there with the eggs for a while, and then eventually, I have to get up his dirt again. And then eventually putting him back in his tank with her, because she's probably letting out a few more eggs today or something like that. I'm not really sure how it works with fish, but like it really freaked me out. Like I was like, oh my god, like it looked little pieces of her like stomach were falling out. Like I was like, whoa, what the? This is freaky stuff. And then it was just so inspiring, and they were beautifully shaped, and like just these little circles on the floor, and they're kind of like in little spots. So it's gonna be exciting for me. It'll slow down my League of Legends a little bit, because during the early phases, putting them all into little containers, taking care of them in the tank, like learning all about it, takes up some time, but I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope it works out. Be so happy for Chilla, like letting me pet her and like being so cheerful. She does little dances, and I imagine I pay her silver in my mind, and like she gives me like a pouty look if I don't pay her in my mind. So, you know what I mean? She needs to have some purpose to me, and I really just want to be there. But that worked out. So I get an assist at least. And I'm going back to base. So I was out there for a bit anyway. But I'm really excited about it, because like I will do everything I can. Like I have taken care of spiders. I had a spider like a millimeter big. It was like squared. That's all it was. And like literally, like she got caught in a web once, and a little drop of water. And I got her out with like a little it was my it's a dab pin, but I was using it as a scrapey for my pipe. And I was getting her out of that, and you know, it was pretty exciting to save her life and stuff like that. But she lasted a month, and it was like a little millimeter. She never got bigger, so she was full grown kind of when I got her. She was just crawling up my wig one day, and I had this little glass vial I kept for little critters, and like I took care of her for a long time. And you know, it wasn't until a long time later that she kind of like just kind of like wasn't moving anymore and stuff. And it was kind of like, you know what I mean? It was like a little bummer, but it was like, wow, man, like that little spider that was on my leg. It was even maybe longer than a month. That was on my leg for those moments, and just staring up at me those innocent eyes. Decided to take a cruise. You know, got to have that, so it was like really special for me. But it was kind of weird because like I didn't consider it as special as I could have, sorta. And I don't really know why. Well, I know why. I mean, but like I don't really know why. Like I feel this way, but it was like she was full grown already, and I was really excited because I thought it was a baby spider. But it was like, I think it was like one of those kind of spiders that had just gotten that old. And yeah, it was pretty exciting. I don't know why this person is just letting me take their turret. This is an odd game. Like, are people disconnected or something? Stealing the honey fruit. Like, they should not have honey fruit there. They could reload. See what I mean? Like, so literal, I want the honey fruit. So I'm gonna group up with my party. I got a lot of gold. Maybe I'll get on spending that. Yeah. That was weird. I thought one of my champions was one of those guys. I tripped out on that. But it did distract him. Kind of wasted my ultimate there. Alright, that was my mistake for coming back into the game and not going with my story as rant. I have no idea what we have done in this game. I do not know what we have achieved. I'm happy with the results. Their front wave of turrets taken. Ours full up. You know what I mean? Went on like a little auto burst there. All these people don't mind me just like talking through their aggressions. Like, this is ranked, you know what I mean? You gotta take this seriously. There is no surrender. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just going on about my fish and stuff like that. And my friend's good times. Like, I don't know, I'm doing alright. Like, I'm getting some assists as mid. Like, don't you want assists as mid? Like, I'm so used to playing support, I kind of naturally just end up with a support ratio, I guess. It's kind of funny. I had like 11 assists in another game, sorry. And I wasn't playing support. I can play Ari support. It's actually pretty good support. I am running over here with this big guy then. I am cloak out of. That scared me. Don't like it. I charmed ya. I hope you secure Rift Herald. I mean Rift Cover. Take it back. Oh, thanks. I got it better. I'm gonna go back and spend some money. I got a huge pile. I always forget about the proto belt. I should probably start taking it though. But I like getting the boots of lucidity and having a boots buff. I usually get a different kind of boots. I don't even know what the boots of lucidity do. I usually get the mobility boots. Oh, there's another assist. Oh, you wasted it. Waste. Oh, there's gotta be some honey fruit. Honey fruit. No honey fruit. That's it. I'm gonna take them down. They must have honey fruit back there somewhere. You think I'll be able to get it, people? People watching after I, you kind of have like a mind like I do. I could be talking to you as, you know what I mean? Remember, doesn't necessarily mean, you know what I mean? Sarah McLaughlin, we're talking to every fan. She's saying salt. And how the hell would I know? I'm still drinking Tim Hortons. You know what I mean? I hope that, like, Canadian saying I just made up helps you ease into the conversation I just had and mellow out. If you're just walking in, like, your friend is hanging out, there'll be these moments, if, like, a lot of people watch my video, but this is true, and your friend just showed up, you know what I mean? Like, right when I started talking about this. You can even make one of those moments where you're just making fun of them and stuff like that. What am I doing? Something efficient.
Bottom turret is under attack.
Yeah. Well, somebody started interrupting my conversation. Can you, like, I don't know, when somebody's playing a game and they're trying to talk, you can appreciate if your opponent didn't, like, interrupt you. You know what I mean? Like, they should stay out of the way and just have the turrets fall. Like, open mid long time ago, guys. Like, I am ranting right now. I'm on autoplay. I even stayed there a little while. Both of them hanging out. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I'm going up here. I think this is a risky move. It feels like death coming up here. But I'm going with her. Maybe I should get some honey first. I love there's so much honey fruit in this game. Risk color, I have a mission for you. Don't worry, my boy. Just hanging out. You know what I mean? I try to put down the risk color with a charm. Or at least while it's charmed. This is a personal thing. There we go. And that happy out. I appreciate his buff. I appreciate the buff. Getting attacked. Attack them now. Ooh. Got a lot of health. There's a lot of damage if you just keep taking people down over time. Is that Rangers and Doll playing? We're splitting apart now? Kind of interrupting me for my rant. Okay, so getting back into it. Darius is gonna get brought down by me. I swear by it. He will be brought down by me. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Darius will be brought down. But I got in there. So that, literally, at a moment. Autoplay is so much fun. Like, I swear, like, it's not an autoplay. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta go. I am not risking. Please get away, please get away, please get away, please get away, please get away. Yes. Whew. That was really lucky. Did you see how long those took to hit me? That was cool. That was cool. Right on. Got distracted from my rant and something cool happened. Like, I've never seen stuff like that before. That was neat. Like, did you, like, I went all the way back and then it finally hit me, like, I had a lot of health back. Like, that was lucky. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I should secure that honey fruit. Make sure no enemies get it. What do you guys think? I took a little bit of damage there. Should I go for the honey fruit? I love talking like I have a view. Like, it's kind of like socializing. I think about what I'm talking about as if I'm actually talking to an audience. And, like, I kind of am talking to an audience. And, you know, like, have you ever seen, like, those videos or, like, those commercials where they're like, see, I'm securing the honey fruit. You gotta secure the honey fruit. Yeah. I got honey fruit. Oh, spicy. Okay, so I'm not on auto battle now. I'm focused in the zone. Up on my game. Probably gonna get another two. Got out of the way. Proper. Out of the way that too. Here we go. I don't know if I died there, but things are going well. Wait, where's their team? Oh, they're just kind of in base near me and him. I mean, okay. Kind of seemed like they were a dragon for a bit or something like that. So we're gonna get, hopefully, no, I don't think I can be resurrected before they take it down. But enough of them will have the buff. So this should go okay.
Enemy slain. Shut down.
Oh. Can't really shoot that far. We go all the way across the map.
Ally slain.
Oh, I mean, in one rip.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Playtime's over.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Okay, cool. Took down the inhibitor. I think, depending on what kind of points or something I get out of this. We'll see kind of how it goes. So I got my place repieced. So cool. Thank you all for watching, and hope you enjoyed the video.